The world does not reward the soft. It does not honor the pure of heart. It devours them. Machiavelli once wrote that a man who tries to be good in a world that is not good is destined to destroy himself. You must learn this truth early, that mercy, when given to those who would harm you, becomes a weapon that will turn against you. Do not mistake kindness for strength. Kindness without calculation is weakness. The world is a chessboard, and those who move with emotion instead of strategy will always be played. Every tear you shed, every doubt you voice, every moment of hesitation, someone is watching. Someone is waiting to use it. To survive, you must become stone, not lifeless, but unshakable. The stone endures every storm because it feels nothing. It bends to no wind, fears no rain, and breaks only when it chooses to. This is the power Machiavelli understood. Control yourself completely, and no one else will ever control you. When people betray you, do not collapse. Record it. Learn from it. Let it carve lessons into your mind, not wounds into your heart. Those who hurt you teach you how the world truly works. Those who leave you teach you that you can stand alone. Those who lie to you teach you to see without illusions. Every pain is a teacher if you remain cold enough to learn. Compassion has its place, but it must be selective, never blind. Love those who have proven loyalty. Help those who would help you, but never extend your warmth to those who feed on it. A ruler who is too merciful invites rebellion. A man who is too open invites ruin. Machiavelli warned, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." Why? Because fear commands respect when love fades. Love depends on others. Fear depends on you. Fear is power you control. Love is power you give away. So do not let the world mold you into its victim. Build walls, not to hide, but to focus. Be polite, but unreadable. Be kind, but not open. Be helpful, but never desperate. Let people think they understand you, and while they do, quietly calculate. The stone never reveals its cracks, and neither should you. The strong endure not because they are cruel, but because they master their emotions before the world can exploit them. The weak hope for fairness, the strong create it. Be cold as stone, or watch the world shatter you. Machiavelli's warning. The world loves to whisper lies. It tells you to stay soft, stay kind, stay trusting. It preaches forgiveness to those who would never forgive you. It teaches you to expose your heart, while others sharpen their knives. Machiavelli knew better. He knew that power does not belong to the gentle. It belongs to those who can stand unmoved when others tremble. To survive, you must strip away illusions. You must see humanity for what it is, hungry, fearful, and ruled by self-interest. Do not hate this truth. Use it. Understand that people are loyal only when it benefits them. Today they may praise you. Tomorrow they may betray you. So trust not in words, but in patterns. Not in emotion, but in action. The strong understand that emotion is the enemy of reason. When you are angry, you are predictable. When you are desperate, you are controllable. When you love without discipline, you are blind. The world breaks those who cannot master themselves. Machiavelli wrote, "He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still." Be cold not because you hate, but because you refuse to be broken. The cold mind sees clearly. It calculates, moves ahead, while others drown in their feelings. When others panic, you will remain composed. When they react, you will observe. When they seek comfort, you will seek advantage. This is how the few rule the many, through control, not chaos. The truth is brutal. The world only respects strength. People admire compassion, but they follow certainty. They obey those who cannot be swayed. Every empire, every great leader, every victorious strategist in history shared one thing: emotional discipline. Caesar, Alexander, Napoleon, they understood that pity is a luxury and sentiment a liability. You must learn to mask your emotions like armor. Do not let your enemies know when you are wounded. Smile in defeat, and they will question their victory. Remain calm in chaos, and the world will assume you are in control. As Machiavelli said, men judge more with their eyes than their hands. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are, so appear calm, appear kind, appear harmless if you must. But inside, be ice. Feel nothing that weakens you. Every insult, every betrayal, every disappointment, let it freeze into your strength. Let your silence become your power. The colder you are, the clearer your mind becomes. Remember, the stone does not react. It does not defend itself with words. It simply endures until its enemies tire. This is how you win in a world that feeds on reaction. Do not show anger. It reveals too much. Do not show pain. It invites predators. Be silent and let your results roar for you. Machiavelli warned that the world belongs to those who act, not those who feel. You are not here to be liked. You are here to endure, to build, to rise. The world will call you heartless. Let them. They do not understand that to protect your vision, you must protect your mind. Be stone, calm in triumph, composed in loss, untouchable in chaos. The moment you stop letting the world provoke you, it loses its power over you. The moment you master your emotions, you master everything, because in the end, the cold never breaks, it simply outlasts the storm. Be cold as stone, or watch the world shatter you. Machiavelli's warning. The moment you harden yourself against the world's noise, you begin to see it for what it truly is. A game of masks. Everyone is performing, pretending, posturing. Some act kind to win favor. Some act humble to gain sympathy. Some act loyal to hide ambition. If you stay soft, you'll believe these performances. If you stay cold, you'll see the truth behind them. Machiavelli warned, men are so simple and so obedient to present necessities that he who deceives will always find someone who will let himself be deceived. You must never be that someone. Never be the fool who trusts appearances. The smile can hide betrayal. The handshake can hide envy. The compliment can hide manipulation. Learn to look beneath the surface, to see intention, not presentation. Coldness gives you vision. When emotions no longer cloud your judgment, you begin to perceive motives clearly. You can see who is genuine and who is useful, who is an ally and who is a parasite. The cold man does not seek revenge. He calculates. He does not strike from anger. He strikes from timing. The world calls this cruelty, but it is simply intelligence without interference. A stone feels no guilt when it stands unshaken, and neither should you. Guilt is the chain the weak used to bind the strong. Society will try to make you feel guilty for putting yourself first, for saying no, for cutting off those who drain you. Do not fall for it. Self-preservation is not selfishness, it is wisdom. Machiavelli said, "He who becomes master of a city accustomed to freedom and does not destroy it will be destroyed by it." The same is true of your emotions. If you do not rule them, they will rule you. If you do not control your fears, they will control your fate. You must conquer yourself first, before you ever try to conquer the world. You will meet people who will say, "You've changed." They'll say you've become distant, emotionless, ruthless. Let them talk. The truth is, you've evolved. You've stopped bleeding for those who never offered a bandage. You've stopped explaining to those who only listen to twist your words. You've stopped being a pawn in someone else's game. The stone does not apologize for being solid. Understand this. Coldness is not the absence of humanity. It is the refinement of it. It is strength disciplined, emotion tamed, mercy filtered through wisdom. The truly cold are not cruel. They are simply immune to manipulation. They know when to care and when to cut, when to speak, and when silence is the loudest weapon. When you reach that point, when nothing can shake your calm, you will hold a kind of power that cannot be taken away, because no one can control a man who feels nothing that weakens him. No insult, no betrayal, no failure can destroy him. Machiavelli's warning is not to abandon your heart, but to command it, to wield it as a weapon, not a weakness. He taught that power belongs to those who can step outside their feelings and act with precision, those who can smile while others scream, those who can stand still while others beg for comfort. And here lies the final truth. The cold do not seek approval. They seek victory. They do not wait for fairness. They create their own order. They do not wish for peace. They enforce it. Be cold as stone, not lifeless, but alive with purpose. Let your silence terrify the unsteady. Let your discipline unsettle the emotional. Let your calmness be your crown, because when the world tries to break you, it will find that your heart has turned to iron and your mind to fire. In the end, the world cannot shatter what it cannot touch. Be cold as stone, or watch the world shatter you. Machiavelli's warning: when you become cold, the world begins to move differently around you. People who once tried to control you begin to hesitate. Those who tried to provoke you start to fear your silence. The manipulator loses his grip when you no longer react. That is the power of composure, the invisible throne upon which true rulers sit. Machiavelli knew this deeply. He wrote that a leader must be both lion and fox, fierce when necessary, cunning when required. But the cold man becomes both effortlessly. His calm hides his calculations. His silence hides his strategy. Every move he makes appears effortless because he acts without emotional noise. His enemies never see his thoughts. They only see his results. You must learn this art, the art of controlled presence. When you speak, do so rarely, but with weight. When you act, do so decisively, without hesitation. When you promise, fulfill it exactly. The cold man's word is a weapon, sharp, deliberate, and final. Others talk endlessly. He speaks once and commands attention. Coldness is not isolation. It is control of energy. You stop wasting emotion on what you cannot change. You stop chasing people who do not value you. You stop fighting battles that don't advance your empire. The energy you see becomes power, mental clarity, focus, and quiet authority. People will sense it before you even speak. The calmness in your eyes, the steadiness in your tone, the absence of reaction, it unsettles them. They feel something they can't explain. Dominance. The cold man never competes loudly. He wins quietly. He does not argue. He simply acts, and in his wake, others follow. Machiavelli said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." The cold man understands this perfectly. He doesn't wait to feel ready. He moves when logic says move. He doesn't wait for motivation. He acts from discipline. He doesn't let temporary emotions dictate permanent decisions. Every step is calculated, every alliance intentional, every silence strategic. In time, your coldness becomes influence. People begin to seek your approval, even your attention. Because they cannot read you, mystery is power. When people can't predict you, they fear disappointing you. When they can't understand you, they respect you. When they can't affect you, they admire you. This is how Machiavellian strength works, not through brutality, but through self-command. The cold man doesn't need to shout to be feared or threaten to be obeyed. His calm becomes his authority. His restraint becomes his crown. But understand this, coldness must always serve a higher purpose. Without vision, it becomes emptiness. Without principle, it becomes cruelty. Machiavelli never praised senseless tyranny. He praised calculated power, power used to create stability, not chaos. Be cold, yes, but always in service of something greater than ego, your legacy, your mission, your empire. You will reach a point where the noise of the world no longer disturbs you, where betrayal no longer surprises you, where flattery no longer flatters you. You will walk through storms with an unshaken pulse, through fire without losing form. That is the moment when the world cannot touch you anymore, because you have learned the ultimate lesson Machiavelli whispered through history. Power does not belong to those who rage or those who cry, but to those who can remain still, watching, waiting, calculating. The man who cannot be provoked is the man who cannot be defeated. Be cold as stone, not cruel, but controlled, not heartless, but untouchable. And when the world tries to shatter you, it will only find itself breaking instead. Be cold as stone, or watch the world shatter you. Machiavelli's warning: there will come a moment when everything you believed in, loyalty, friendship, even love, is tested. When those you helped will turn away. When those you trusted will betray you. When the world will strip away every illusion you had about people. That moment is the birth of your power, if you do not let it destroy you. Machiavelli warned, men forget more easily the death of their father than the loss of their property. It is a cruel truth. People care more for their advantage than for their affection. Once you understand this, you stop taking betrayal personally. You begin to see it as part of the design, as a reminder to never build your strength on others' loyalty, but on your own resilience. Coldness is not bitterness. It is awakening. It is the point where you stop expecting fairness from a world that has never been fair. You stop demanding love from hearts that were never capable of giving it. You stop wasting your breath defending your worth to people who only see value when it benefits them. When you grow cold, you start to think like a ruler. You understand timing, patience, leverage. You no longer chase opportunities. You create them. You no longer beg for respect. You command it through silence, discipline, and results. The cold do not need validation because they have mastered themselves, and that mastery radiates. The world senses it. People feel it when you walk into a room, your energy, your control, your absence of need. Need is weakness, and the world smells it like blood and water. But when you are self-contained, unbothered, indifferent to approval, you become dangerous, not because you intend harm, but because no one knows how to move you. Machiavelli taught that a ruler must learn to act like a fox to recognize traps and like a lion to frighten wolves. The cold man is both. He observes quietly, strikes rarely, but always effectively. He wastes nothing, not time, not words, not emotion. He understands that real power is not in movement, but in stillness. You must become like a mirror, reflecting everything, absorbing nothing. Let others project their noise onto you, their anger, their envy, their lies. You will remain untouched. The mirror does not fight the reflection, it simply stands. This is the essence of Machiavellian calm, unshakable composure amidst chaos, because in chaos, the cold rise. While others panic, you calculate. While others speak, you listen. While others burn out chasing power, you build it quietly. And one day, the same people who doubted you will whisper your name with fear and respect. They will call you heartless because they could not control you. They will call you ruthless because they could not break you. They will call you cold because they could not understand that you stopped letting the world wound you. Machiavelli once said, "Fortune is a woman. If you wish to control her, you must treat her roughly." The world bends only to those who refuse to be bent. It yields to those who move without hesitation, who act without asking permission. The cold man does not wait for fortune, he seizes it. Remember this, you are not here to be understood, you are here to be effective. You are not here to fit in, you are here to ascend. The world will not hand you peace, you must forge it from fire. So, be cold as stone, but alive with purpose. Cold in emotion, but burning with discipline. Unmoved by fear, but driven by strategy. And when life tests you, when everything around you collapses, you will not, because you have built yourself into something the world cannot destroy. A mind that does not beg, a soul that does not shake, a heart that does not break. Be cold as stone, not because you are without feeling, but because you have learned to feel without falling. And when the world tries to shatter you, be cold as stone, or watch the world shatter you. Machiavelli's warning. Every person alive faces the same crossroads at some point. To remain soft and be shaped by the world, or to harden and begin shaping it instead. Most never make that second choice. They let pain turn them bitter, disappointment turn them hopeless, betrayal turn them weak. But the few, the very few, take those same wounds and forge themselves into something unbreakable. That is the Machiavellian way. Pain becomes polish, loss becomes lesson, loneliness becomes strength. You begin to understand that your emotions are tools, not masters. Anger can drive you, but only if you steer it. Fear can protect you, but only if you control it. Love can heal you, but only if you give it wisely. The cold man feels everything, but he decides when to feel it. He is not numb, he is disciplined, and that discipline makes him unstoppable. Because when others waste energy explaining, apologizing, and proving themselves, he is building, quietly, relentlessly, with precision. The cold man knows that the less he reveals, the more they imagine. And imagination is more powerful than words. His silence becomes a mirror in which others see their own insecurity. Machiavelli once wrote, "The great majority of mankind are satisfied with appearances, as though they were realities." The cold man exploits that truth. He does not need to shout his worth. He lets the illusion of calm make others assume power. He lets mystery do what noise never can. People chase comfort. The cold chase control. The world teaches you to seek love. The wise seek leverage. The masses chase pleasure. The powerful chase purpose. You will never find peace in comfort, only in control. The control of your reactions, your focus, your destiny. Understand, coldness is not about rejection of humanity. It is the refinement of it. The purest form of strength is quiet. The deepest confidence is calm. And the truest power is invisible. The world thinks dominance looks loud, angry, forceful. No, real dominance is serenity. It's the stillness of a man who knows he cannot be shaken. Look at the great minds of history, Marcus Aurelius, Napoleon, Sun Tzu, Machiavelli himself. They understood that emotion is a luxury for those without ambition. The moment you choose to roll your mind, you separate yourself from the crowd forever. There is no crown heavier than self-control, and there is no throne more secure than silence. When you are cold, you become unpredictable, unreadable, untouchable. They will try to provoke you, but your calm will haunt them. They will try to insult you, but your silence will make them question themselves. You will no longer chase influence, you will become it. Machiavelli warned, the promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. He understood that power demands adaptability, and emotion kills adaptability. The cold man adjusts faster than anyone else. He changes course without panic. He loses without despair. He wins without arrogance, and eventually you realize the cold are not heartless. They are simply tired of bleeding for those who never earned their warmth. You realize that distance is not loneliness, it is protection. You realize that silence is not weakness, it is control. You will walk alone, but you will walk free. You will lose many, but you will gain yourself. And when you finally reach that place of mastery where no betrayal, no insult, no loss can shake you, you will understand the true meaning of power. Because power is not about ruling others. It is about ruling yourself. Be cold as stone, not lifeless, but deliberate, not empty, but precise. Let every move you make carry intention. Let your calm become your weapon. Let your silence become your storm. When you learn to be cold, you will never beg again. You will never chase again. You will never break again. And one day, when the world tries to crush you, it will discover you are not the one who shatters. You are the stone it breaks against. Be cold as stone, or watch the world shatter you. Machiavelli's warning. And so, when the dust of life settles, when every voice has shouted, every enemy has revealed itself, and every storm has passed, only one question will remain. Were you strong enough to stay standing? Were you stone, or were you sand? Machiavelli understood something few ever grasp, that the world is not conquered by strength of arms, but by strength of mind. Armies fall, thrones crumble, wealth fades, but a disciplined mind endures through centuries. The man who rules himself needs no throne. His power travels with him. His calm bends the world without force. The world worships fire, loud, blazing, dramatic, but forgets that it is the still mountain that outlasts the flame. The cold man is that mountain. He watches kingdoms rise and fall, watches fools destroy themselves in the name of pride and impulse, and he remains untouched, unmoved, eternal. You see, the greatest victory is not over others. It is over your own chaos. It is when the storm outside no longer stirs the storm within. When you can look into the face of betrayal and feel nothing but understanding. When you can walk away from what you once loved without bitterness. Because you have learned that everything temporary must fall away before the eternal can emerge. Machiavelli said, "The wise man does not complain of the wind. He adjusts his sails." The cold man doesn't fight reality. He bends with it. He doesn't cry for fairness. He creates advantage. He doesn't cling to what is lost. He moves toward what must be built. That is how empires rise, not through emotion, but through adaptation. Understand this. People will fear you when they cannot predict you. They will respect you when they cannot shake you. They will follow you when they realize nothing moves you off your path. That is true leadership. Not loudness, not threats, stillness, command through calm, power through restraint. When you can look at chaos and say, "I do not bend," you've already won. Because then, no one can reach you. No one can manipulate you. No one can break you. They will try again and again, but you will remain like stone, indifferent to their noise, focused on your purpose, moving with the slow inevitability of destiny itself. That is Machiavelli's warning. Be soft, and the world will mold you. Be reactive, and the world will use you. But be cold, truly cold, and the world will kneel before your steadiness. Do not mistake this for cruelty. The cold do not destroy for pleasure. They destroy only what threatens their peace. They do not isolate out of hatred. They isolate to sharpen their purpose. Their silence is not emptiness. It is a chamber of power where emotion is refined into clarity. And one day, when you remaster this, when you relearn to be stone, you will see how easily others crumble, how easily they reveal their motives, their weaknesses, their desperation. You will not mock them. You will simply understand. You will know why Machiavelli called most men predictable, and you will never again waste your time trying to change them. You will have become something rarer than power itself, untouchable. Because the man who is cold cannot be corrupted. He cannot be provoked. He cannot be controlled. He becomes a force, silent, strategic, eternal. So when the world tests you, when it pushes, betrays, mocks, and tempts you, smile. Feel nothing that weakens you. Show nothing that exposes you. Let your stillness answer for you. Because the cold do not fight the storm. They become the storm. Be cold as stone, and watch the world shatter trying to move you. Be cold as stone, or watch the world shatter you. Machiavelli's final warning in the stillness. After every battle, there is only one sound left, the quiet breath of the one who never fell. That silence is victory. That silence is power. The world will never understand the man who feels nothing that weakens him. They will call him cold because they cannot comprehend calm. They will call him ruthless because they cannot comprehend restraint. They will call him dark because they cannot comprehend depth. but he will not answer. He does not need to. His existence becomes his statement. Machiavelli once wrote, "He who builds on the people, builds on the mud." He knew the crowd is fickle, and the heart of man is fragile. Do not build your strength on others' applause. Build it on the rock of your own mind. Because when the noise fades, and it always fades, the only fortress that remains is the one you built inside yourself. Every time the world tries to shake you, stand still. Every time they expect you to rage, smile instead. Every time they think they found your weakness, show them nothing. Because when you react, you give away control. When you stay calm, you own it. Control is the currency of the powerful, and coldness is how you earn it. Let them call you distant. Let them call you heartless. Let them call you what they will. The lion does not answer the opinions of sheep. The stone does not explain its stillness to the wind. You do not owe anyone your warmth. You do not owe the world your softness. You owe yourself your peace. And peace requires power, the kind of power that cannot be shaken by anyone else's noise, anyone's love, or anyone's hate. This is what Machiavelli tried to teach the world. That true control begins when nothing external dictates your inner state, when no betrayal can touch your focus, when no praise can inflate your pride, when no chaos can pull you off your path. That is the moment you ascend above the noise, not as a king crowned by others, but as one who needs no crown at all, the one who is his own kingdom, the one who cannot be moved. Be cold as stone, for the world will always try to test you, and every time it does, let it crash, let it rage, let it break itself upon your calm, because the storm fears only one thing, stillness. And when the world finally grows silent, when everything that sought to move you has fallen away, you will stand there, unmoved, untouched, unbroken. That is where all power lives. That is where Machiavelli's truth breathes, in the man who feels deeply, or reveals nothing, who loves quietly, but kneels to no one, who stands alone yet commands everything. So be cold as stone, be silent as the storm's eye, be calm as destiny itself. And when the world tries to shatter you, let it learn what all chaos learns in the end. The stone does not break, it only remains. Be cold as stone, or watch the world shatter you. Machiavelli's warning. The world will always test the limits of your patience, your heart, and your will. It will send people to deceive you, situations to weaken you, and moments to break you. But understand, every test is a question. The question is simple. Are you ruled by the world, or do you rule yourself? Most fail that test. They let emotion lead. They let pain blind them. They let anger command them. And so they live their entire lives as slaves, not to chains, but to their own reactions. The man who cannot master himself will never command anything greater than his impulses.